How's it going, my photo geeks? Today we are going to be talking about the Canon 6D Mark II that Canon recently announced and is releasing. Let's talk photo. Alrighty geeks, let's get to talking about the Canon 6D Mark II. So, as I said, recently Canon released their 6D Mark II. The 6D Mark II basically brings Canon's smaller cameras. For instance, you don't have the huge 1D Mark III or 1DX Mark III, but you have these smaller, more compact cameras like the 5D or the 80D, more of that sized camera, and Canon is punching it in the face with their full-framed cameras. The 6D Mark II, according to Canon USA, some of the features: a 26.2 megapixel full-frame CMOS sensor. The crop sensor is a smaller size than the full-frame sensor, as it says, which allows the full-frame sensor to get a little bit more light, therefore making the ISO go higher, and in most cases the quality will be better. Let's go over some of the key features of the Canon 6D Mark II. According to Canon, we have an optical viewfinder. So instead of that just the screen, we have an optical viewfinder with 45-point all-cross type AF system. So that means when you look through your optical viewfinder on that little, I guess you could say almost a screen that you see it, or that little window, there are 45 little autofocus points. Cross type means that they are faster, allowing a normal autofocus. The cross type autofocus, the cross type will always be faster and will be able to recognize things, for instance, not just faces, moving objects much better than some of the others would. We have a Digic 7 image processor with a native ISO from 100 all the way to 40,000. So that is a really, really, really good ISO range, meaning that that lens can capture more light and be exposed to more light, where on for instance, the camera I'm shooting on is a Canon T3i. The native ISO is, I believe, 1600 or 3200 at the most, which means at the 40,000, you can see that the 6D with that full frame sensor can capture way more light without giving in that noise that everyone knows is those little like fuzzy stuff, and it drives people crazy. Just like the Rebel series that I'm shooting on, we have a vari-angle touchscreen, which in behind me will show that the screen can flip out. It will turn up and face forward, kind of like a selfie. That is really helpful for when you're trying to shoot low angles or very high angles, allowing you to see on live view what the camera is seeing. Some very cool built-in features that most lower-end cameras don't have, that the 6D Mark II does have, is some built-in Wi-Fi, allowing you with the Canon's mobile app to immediately share and edit pictures from your camera all down to your phone, where then you can send that off to your Instagrams, your Facebooks, all of those type of social media apps. We have some Bluetooth in it, which allows multiple cameras to be connected, as well as using a controller that is Bluetooth instead of wired. We do have some GPS capability. It is a new thing, and I'm very interested to see what goes on. So as a very interesting thing, because I know that the Canon T3i does, I believe, 3 frames per second, 3 or 4 frames per second, we have the high-speed continuous shooting for the 6D Mark II at 6.5 frames a second. So that means every second, if you hold the shutter button down, it'll take 6.5 shots, depending, they're just rounding. Now, that can only go for so long. They do not include it here, but we'll see in some upcoming news from Canon. A very interesting thing that Canon does with, I believe, all of their full-frame cameras is they are dust and water resistant, which means if you have your mic ports or you have, say, your SD card port, that will be dust and water resistant. So if you get splashed, or you're shooting in the rain because you're outside doing like a sports game, you can't not shoot pictures and you can't not take pictures. You just have to keep going, and this camera allows you to do that even in not very good weather. So guys, as of right now, the 6D Mark II looks very, very cool, and I'm excited to see what Canon does in the future. As of right now, it is priced at $2,000, which is a heap of money, but consider that this is a very nice camera, so it is an investment, not just a purchase. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to click like and to subscribe, and comment down below if you would buy this camera and any questions that you have about the Canon 6D Mark III. Remember guys, keep shooting, and I will see you in the next video.